Study the Bible, not the sermon. God is love. Season to this. Locksmith, knowledge is the key. And I was just thinking about a proverb, and usually proverbs are wisdom, but I think this proverb is actually the dumbest thing I ever heard. And I keep it real with you, I didn't always think it was dumb. I probably said it a couple times like it was, you know, real talk. But what you don't know won't hurt you, right? And like I say, probably dumbest thing I ever heard in my life, right? And what I'd like to do is using that analogy with the fact that God is love, but Jesus is a killer. I want to explore the idea of what you don't know won't hurt you, right? I almost wanted to use my things to make you go music, because what we gonna do here is go back. Let's take a walk back to a simpler time, right? Let's take a walk back amongst the kings of Israel, and we want to deal with the young man named King David, right? The one and only, the illustrious. And King David existed in the book of 1 Chronicles, and we want to pick this up at chapter 13, because after a while King David became king, and you know, the Lord blessed everything he did. So after a while he just started doing stuff, and the Lord was blessing him low key, right? And we want to pick this up at one of the bright ideas that King David came up with about things to do. And just see some stuff. Just, you know, let the Bible speak. Let the Bible answer the question, is the fact that what you don't know won't hurt you. Is that truth or not? Right? 1 Chronicles chapter 13 verse 1. My brother, illustrious reader. Read that, please.
And David consulted with the captains of thousands and hundreds, and with every leader.
So first of all, you notice this might be the first mistake. It probably is the mistake, because David was a man after the Lord's own heart, and the reason he was because he always consulted the Lord before he did everything, right? Even when he went to battle, he said, hey, should I go up to battle or should I chill? And that was usually the thing that got him through. And most of the time when he failed, it was because he forgot that fact. Right, and this appears to be one of those times, because he consulted with the captains and the thousands and the leaders. And then what happened?
And David said unto all the congregation of Israel,
what did he say to them?
If it seem good unto you, and that it be of the Lord our God, let us send abroad unto our brethren everywhere that are left in all the land of Israel.
Yes, sir.
And with them also to the priests and Levites which are in their cities and suburbs, that they may gather themselves unto us.
Why?
And let us bring again the ark of our God to us.
Oh.
For we inquired not at it in the days of Saul.
Right, so King Saul was, for all intents and purposes, not a righteous king. And the ark of the Lord was taken while Saul was king because of some grimy things that he did. Keep it 100. And nobody went to seek after it after that. Right, now David is the next king, so if anybody should go look for it, it should be him. Right, not look for it, they know where it is, so go retrieve it and bring it back to Jerusalem where it should be. Right, bright idea, noble idea. Right, probably just as noble as buying gifts in December because you want to see your children smile. Just as noble, probably more than that, because this is the ark of the living God that brought you out of bondage. Right, noble idea. Read that.
And all the congregation said that they would do so.
Woo! Turn up, boy. Not only is the king got a good idea, but the people with him, you gotta move. Come on.
The thing was right in the eyes of all the people.
Well, turn up.
So David gathered all Israel together from Shihor of Egypt, even unto the entering of Hamath, to bring the ark of God from Kirjath Jearim.
Right. 1 Samuel chapter 7 to let you know why it ended up in Kirjath Jearim. Read that.
And David went up and all Israel to Baalah, that is, to Kirjath-jearim, which belonged to Judah.
So it's still in the land of Judah, it's still amongst Israel, but a lot of terrible things happened when they took the ark, and then when they tried to bring the ark back and they tried to do a bunch of stuff, terrible things happen, right? Another part of that God is love thing, right? But go ahead, bro, I digress. Come on, read that.
To bring up thence the ark of God, the Lord, that dwelleth between the cherubims, whose name is called on it.
The ark of the Lord. Come on.
And they carried the ark of God in a new cart.
We'll turn up. This is important. Turn up, because when you go get the ark, right, you know what I'm saying, you know, the ark is made out of gold, okay? And I think we're going to read a little of that before we get out of here, but it's a magnificent sight. Right, not the kind of thing that you just want to be like letting everybody handle, right? So you go, you put it on a new cart, right? Because why would you get an old cart, right? This is the ark of the living God. Put it on a new cart, right? Noble again, right? We're getting this for God because we His people. He blessed us. We're supposed to do this, and we put it on a new jam. Come on, bro.
Out of the house of Abinadab, and Uzzah and Ahio drave the cart. And David and all Israel played before God with all their might, with singing and with harps, and with psalteries, and with timbrels, and with cymbals, and trumpets.
And with the trumpet, boy. So I'm saying this is like Israel, full-fledged black people. Okay? We're doing this thing. We got a righteous cause for it. He said we should do it. From the beginning, it should have been that way. It wasn't that way because somebody messed up. So the fact that we corrected it, we on point with it. We got the new vessel to carry it in. Then all the people is with the king. The king is here. We have it. Dancing, chilling, kicking it, music, trumpets. It's love. What could possibly go wrong? I'm sorry, I'm leaving y'all in suspense like you don't have a book too. Hurry up and read it, bro.
And when they came unto the threshing floor of Chidon,
what happened?
Uzzah put forth his hand to hold the ark, for the oxen stumbled.
And of course, right? The ox stumble, you don't want the cart to fall on the ground, right? Turn up, man. What happened next?
And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Uzzah, and he smote him, because he put his hand to the ark.
Right? Party over, turn down, break the knob, unplug the system. Everything is good. I mean, what's wrong with this picture? You know what I'm saying? If Uzzah didn't put forth his hand, surely the ark would have fell and touched the ground. And you don't want the ark to touch the ground. I mean, I don't know, was they in mud or was it just regular dirt and sand? I mean, either way. I mean, what was he supposed to do? I mean, the oxen stumbled. You know, the ox don't care nothing about this ark. He stumbled, the ark just falls. You what? And it said the anger of the Lord. The anger of the Lord was kindled, and he killed Uzzah. There's another place in the Bible where he say, don't make him mad because he'll wipe you out when his anger is kindled just a little. Right? And here, this is a point. You know what I'm saying? His anger was just kindled. And Uzzah, you done. You done, G. You done. Right? Yeah. Do verse 11. Come on.
And there he died before God.
Woo!
And David was displeased because the Lord had made a breach upon Uzzah. Wherefore that place is called Perez Uzzah to this day.
Perez Uzzah. Right? Literally translated, that means the outbreak of Uzzah. Right? Or really it translates as the place where the Lord broke out against Uzzah. Right? Research that name Perez. There's something to that. But go ahead, bro.
And David was afraid of God that day, saying,
woohoo! Imagine that. David was afraid. I wonder if David had the thought, you know, hindsight is 20/20, but I wonder if David had the thought, like, damn, I should have been afraid of him before now, and maybe Buddy wouldn't have died. We're gonna get there. I'm sorry. Finish the chapter, please.
How shall I bring the ark of God home to me? So David brought not the ark home to himself to the city of David, but carried it aside into the house of Obed-Edom, the Gittite.
The Gittite.
And the ark of God remained with the family of Obed-Edom in his house 3 months.
And what happened?
And the Lord blessed the house of Obed-Edom and all that he had.
Now, I just wanted to read that because I think it's a beautiful contrast. Because remember, I told you that I think it was the Philistines came and took the ark. Right, when they took the ark, the Lord brought the plague on their God because they sat in the house of their God. And then they took it out. Then everybody, when they took it amongst the people, the Lord brought the plague on them. Then when they said, oh my God, what do we do? They set it off to the side. They told them what to do. They sent it to the other place, Kirjath-Jearim, and you know what I'm saying, it was good. Now here, the people done brought it. It looked like it's all good. It almost fall, kill a dude, and then instead of just leaving it there, they take it to another man's house, and instead of killing that man, 3 months it sit there, and the Lord blessed all that he had. All right, so that lets you know that Jesus not a killer just because he a killer. He a killer because you hard-headed. He a killer because you won't follow orders. He a killer because you won't abide by the protocol. He a killer because you thought that because the king told you to do it, must be all good. Or because not the king told you, because the king authorized this move, that it must be all good. Not just us, but all the people agree with it. Right? Now, let's flip over to Numbers chapter 1, because we want to find out why the Lord killed Uzzah. Right? Not necessarily why he killed Uzzah. Yeah, why he killed Uzzah. Come on. Like I say, flip back. Actually, hold your finger right there because we're coming right back. But we want to go to Numbers chapter 1 because we want to know what happened. Why was the breach made upon us? I mean, we know it's because he touched the ark. But what's wrong with that? I mean, you don't want to touch the floor. I mean, what's the problem? You know what I'm saying? What's the big deal? Right? God acting like a little girl right now. No, I'm just playing. But look, we're going to find out. Because technically, he was, unless you have wisdom. Right? So, Numbers chapter 1. And in Numbers chapter 1, we dealing with the numbering of the people. Right? And Moses was numbering all the tribes. And he left out one tribe because God told Moses that the people shall never be numbered because they shall be as the sand of the sea and as the stars in the sky. Right? So therefore, in order to get some type of handle on them, he numbered 11 tribes and left out the priests. Right? Left out the tribe of Levi. And in addition to leaving out the tribe of Levi, he left some special orders and instructions with the tribe of Levi. So we want to pick this up at verse 49. What the book say, bruh?
But the Levites after the tribe of their fathers were not numbered among them.
Pardon me, that's verse 47. Right? The Levites were not numbered after the tribe of their fathers. Pick it up at verse 48, please, my brother. Thank you for reminding me. Come on with it.
For the Lord had spoken unto Moses, saying,
What'd he say?
Only thou shalt not number the tribe of Levi, neither take the sum of them among the children of Israel.
But what will you do with the tribe of Levi?
But thou shalt appoint the Levites over the tabernacle of testimony.
Okay.
And over all the vessels thereof.
Okay. And
over all things that belong to it. They shall bear the tabernacle.
Now, the tabernacle is actually a tent, right? And there's a lot of things that go on inside of this tabernacle. But Levites are the only ones that should be dealing with it. Come on, bro.
And all the vessels thereof. And they shall minister unto it, and shall encamp round about the tabernacle.
So not only are they the only ones supposed to take the tabernacle down, set it up, supposed to encamp around it. So they live and sleep around this tabernacle. Minister means they serve the tabernacle. Right? That's their only job. Right? Other places in the Bible tell you that you're supposed to give them land and they eat off your tithes because their only job is that tabernacle. Come on.
And when the tabernacle setteth forward, the Levites shall take it down.
And then what?
And when the tabernacle is to be pitched, the Levites shall set it up.
And
the stranger that cometh nigh,
what's going to happen?
Shall be put to death.
Woo! Now, understand here, when it say stranger, he not talking about Gentiles or Edomites or anything like that. He's talking about anybody who is not a Levite. Anybody who's not a Levite is a stranger messing around this tabernacle, or anything that's in the tabernacle, the vessels that deal with the tabernacle, which the Ark of the Covenant is one. Right, read through the rest of this book of Numbers, you'll see the Ark is inside of the tabernacle. So only one should be dealing with that is the priest and any sucker MC who come around shall be put to death. All right, and you know the funny thing is that people act like that Moses was the one who put everybody to death or something. Like it's some law of Moses or something. This is the law of Moses we read, but who put Uzzah to death? Jesus. Did you finish that? Come on with that.
And the children of Israel shall pitch their tents, every man by his own camp, and every man by his own standard throughout their hosts.
Yes, sir. Finish 53. Come on.
And the Levites shall pitch round about the tabernacle of testimony.
Why?
That there be no wrath upon the congregation of the children of Israel. And the Levites shall keep the charge of the tabernacle of testimony.
So that it won't be any wrath against the children of Israel. Right? Wrath like what, locksmith? Like what happened with David and Uzzah. Right? And the breach was so bad, David was so displeased, they changed the name of the location of the place to Perez Uzzah until this day. Right? I bet you if you go over there right now today in 2017, it's over there, Perez Uzzah. How much you want to bet? How much bet? Come on, let's bet. Right, now let's go back to 1 Chronicles chapter 13, and we want to go ahead and finish this off. And because, you know, eventually the ark came back, but, you know what I'm saying, this thing that we just read, David is the king. Do you think he didn't know that? I mean, Moses wrote that the king should have his own copy of the book. Right? Maybe he just forgot. I mean, you know, maybe he just, you know, that's why you're supposed to consult the Lord, maybe. Right? And since God don't talk to you no more, God speak by his prophets, maybe you should be reading this thing before you make decisions. Huh? Maybe. Maybe David should have read this thing before he made that decision. Right? Now we want back to 1 Chronicles 13, and we want to pick this up at verse 1. Right? And we're going to check the revelation of King David. Right? What I say 13, I mean 15. Right? Flip over 2 chapters to chapter 15. A little bit of time done passed, and that David gonna try it again. 1 Chronicles 15 and verse 1. What the book say, bruh?
And David made him houses in the city of David, and prepared a place for the ark of God, and pitched for it a tent. So you know David done went and did some soul searching, some recollections, some studying, some asking, some consulting with the Lord. Right? Because before he was displeased, now he done went and built some houses, and now he's about to build the place for the ark. Interesting how the place for the ark wasn't built before he went to get it the first time. Maybe in the midst of that, he would have had remembered that the only people supposed to touch it is the Levites. Come on with it, bro. Then David said,
what'd he say?
None ought to carry the ark of God but the Levites. For them hath the Lord chosen to carry the ark of God and to minister unto him forever.
Forever. Right? Knowledge is a beautiful thing. All right? 1 Samuel chapter 2 says that our God is a God of knowledge. Right? It's a God of knowledge. All right? Go ahead and finish verse 3, bro.
And David gathered all Israel together to Jerusalem to bring up the ark of the Lord unto his place, which he had prepared for it.
Right, so now finally now all the people can get behind it in righteousness, and they brought up the ark of God. Right, we not quite. Verse 11. If you read through all the rest of them, there were hundreds. Every verse represents hundreds of people. But verse 11, come on, bro.
And David called for Zadok and Abiathar the priests.
Again, we talking about high priests now. Come on.
And for the Levites, for Uriel, Asaiah, and Joel, Shemaiah, and Eliel, and Aminadab.
What'd he say to them?
Said unto them,
What'd he say?
Ye are the chief of the fathers of the Levites. Sanctify yourselves, both ye and your brethren, that ye may bring up the ark of the Lord God of Israel unto the place that I have prepared for it.
Wow.
For because ye did it not at the first, the Lord our God made a breach upon us, for that we sought him not after the due order.
Because we sought him not after due order. A man died because you didn't go after due order. Right? And remember, the name of this is that what you don't know won't hurt you. Right? Now, you could argue that David knew Uzzah. Did Uzzah know? Maybe, maybe not. Certainly he didn't know in the moment, or else he wouldn't have touched it. Certainly he didn't know when they had put it on the new cart. Certainly David didn't know when he allowed them to have oxen driving the cart of the living God. I mean, the cart of the ark, the cart carrying the ark of the living God. Clearly he didn't know. Right? He had forgot. Right? Because when you think about it, why is the stinking animals carrying the cart anyway? Right? You need men carrying the cart. So even if the man stumble and fall, hold the cart up, boy, hold it up high. Right? Matter of fact, bless the people with an image of the Levites holding the Ark of the Covenant. Right? Read verse 14, bro, so we can get up.
So the priests and the Levites sanctified themselves to bring up the ark of the Lord God of Israel. And the children of the Levites bare the ark of God upon their shoulders with the staves thereon, as Moses commanded according to the word of the Lord. As Moses commanded according to the word of the Lord. It's such a beautiful thing when you're under obedience, because of course obedience is better than sacrifice. Read verse 16, man. And David spake to the chief of the Levites to appoint their brethren to be the singers with instruments of music, psalteries and harps and cymbals, sounding by lifting up the voice with joy. Right. And the rest of that chapter goes on to name all the singers and everybody who held it down. Right. That's what the priest did. The priests were singers. Right. Ministers through song. All they did was serve the tabernacle. Sing songs of joy to the tabernacle. I mean, to the ark that sitteth in the tabernacle. Right. Give me another image of the ark. Matter of fact, I don't know if y'all know, but the children of Israel were scattered all over the world. Some of them ended up in Japan. And Japan has this funny little house they have. And they have people who carry this funny little house in a certain kind of way. Really looks like the ark of the Lord. And the priests, the Levites, holding it. Show the people that. Yeah, just a little food for thought. You do the dishes. Locksmith, knowledge is the key. Word of God, tried and true. One more again. Father's up there. On his right hand is the Son. God is love. Jesus still a killer. Especially if you touch the ark. Make that breach upon you. Just a little displeased. Off with your life. Right? Shut your lights out. Study the Bible, not the sermon. The good news is that all you have to do is what he say, and you're good to go. Locksmith. Knowledge is the key.